the change table or in bed, she'd scream her head off. Took her off to the doctor and he's like, no, they're fine. And we're like, oh, yeah.
There must be a reason.
It must be us, what is
I'm
it?
the only one at home with him, and I have no one that I can, take turn or take over, and I have to do by all myself.
To prepare Chloe for bed, Tracy chooses a quiet activity. Tracy has brought Chloe's nana to support her while she introduces changes to Chloe's sleeping patterns. Some toddlers develop techniques to distract their parents and avoid going to sleep, like climbing out of bed, asking for drinks, etc. Some children develop more challenging techniques. Chloe has learnt that deliberate vomiting usually stops the going to bed routine. Tracy needs to ignore the deliberate vomiting and to remain clear and focused on settling Chloe. If need be, she can cover the vomit with a towel and clean it up later. Chloe has attempted to come out of the room, so Tracy returns with a brief time for sleep message. Tracy also firmly tells Chloe that the door will be closed if she follows her to the door. Chloe is clearly warned twice, and on the third occasion the door is closed. Tracy continues on with the controlled comforting timing, each time increasing the time out of the room by 2 minutes up to 10 minutes.
Sleep time.
In between, giving Chloe a brief and firm go-to-sleep message. At the next visit, the door is left open. For all children over 6 months, you can repeat 10 minutes of timeout twice during the day's sleep. At this point, you will have been settling for up to 1 hour. If your child has not settled, take a break, get her up, and try again later when you see her tired signs.
It's quieting down a bit.
Pardon? She has quieted down a bit. Yeah, that's good.
During the night, you need to continue on with the techniques, building up to and then staying at 10 minutes timeout for as many times as it takes. Tracy's consistent approach has shown Chloe that it's time for a sleep. If your baby or child wakes before they've had enough sleep, for example less than an hour at a time during the day, resettle them using the same techniques. Try resettling for about half an hour. If your child does not resettle, stop and get on with the day and watch for her tired signs. It may take up to several weeks for your child to change her sleeping patterns.
Like the 2 to 10 minute thing of trying to settle, like I last about 30 seconds and I sort of find I have to leave and go and, deep breaths and do something else and then sort of go back to it and resettle, and it's sort of,
So what helps you get through it?
Knowing that, okay, they're in a safe place, they're not going to harm themselves or hurt themselves in there. We can walk away to have a breath for ourselves. That I think was, we can close the door and go out to the clothesline or, just to get away from it.
Yeah. Once we find out that, we can go out, leave the room for a few minutes and then come back there so we can cope with it. When I try to settle him, he cried a lot and I close my eyes and think of something else. Don't look at him. Think something else and close my eyes completely like, I'm elsewhere, not there with him, so it's worked perfectly. Yeah.
What about for yourselves? What supports have you needed to make the changes?
We have had to communicate. The first week that we tried the sleep program, Neil was on night shift, so I was doing it alone every night. but I took the advice of not hopping back into bed with the lights off and that kind of thing. I'd switch the lights on and actually used the mobile phone a lot. I'd text messaged him at work and he would text message me back, and it went backwards and forwards, and then I'd say, I think she's asleep, and this message would come back saying, yay. It was good. I didn't feel like I was in it alone.
And mothers group as well, I have found that I'm going along to there and saying, okay, this is what she's been doing the last week. Tell me I'm not alone. That I think is an important part for me, is just that other babies do the same thing.
Yeah,
Charlotte's not the only one that wakes up in the middle of the night, and other people are sleep deprived, and I just think
building up a really good support base.
Yeah.
I think coming to the day program was great for that as well, because you sort of saw these other babies that just exactly the same problem. And it was so good to sort of see other parents going through exactly the same thing as we were going through, and it was just, it was good.
Yeah, time out to yourself, and going on dates. Because we had actually only known each other 6 months when I fell pregnant. So we still
working on the relationship and the baby and
yeah, still dating.
Good girl.
Many families experience a range of sleeping difficulties, and the techniques described in this video offer one way of managing them. Using these techniques is challenging. It takes time, commitment, and a good deal of perseverance. Before you start using these techniques, you and your family need to feel healthy and ready to make the change. You can help your child improve her sleeping patterns.
Things are going really well. She's sleeping through. She slept through for 4 nights. Yeah, I'm very happy.
I mean, it was just amazing sort of you seeing the difference between like the morning sleep and the afternoon sleep. Like Gabby, I think, cried for 50 minutes in the morning and only about sort of 10 in the afternoon, sort of using the techniques properly that we sort of worked on today.
Approximately 1 in 3 children develop a settling or sleep difficulty. If your child is always difficult to settle or wakes up before she has had enough sleep, you need to think about whether she has developed a sleep association. She may only fall asleep if she is rocked, cuddled, fed, carried, is given her dummy repeatedly, is held all the time she is asleep, or in a number of other ways. If this is creating a problem for your family, then you can try the techniques that have been shown. Check your child's tired signs so that you settle her before she becomes overtired. Tired cues in young babies include frowning, grimacing, clenched fists, rigid limbs, jerky movements, little or no movement, staring blankly, yawning, grizzling, and crying. To settle your baby who is up to 6 months old, settle her into the cot. Leave the room and wait for 30 seconds. Use settling techniques to soothe her until she is quiet and relaxed. These include gentle body rocking, patting, stroking. Leave the room before she is asleep. If she cries, wait 30 seconds, then return. Try to settle her for about 20 minutes, then stop, get her up and try again a little later. If she has gone to sleep but wakes in less than 1 hour, resettle her. Try resettling for about 20 minutes. Tired cues in older babies include needing to be closer to an adult, loss of interest in activities, shorter concentration span, happy then grizzly then happy, uncoordinated, clumsy, rubbing their ears, eyes, nose, pulling hair, yawning and crying. To settle your baby, who is 6 to 12 months old, use the technique called modified controlled comforting. Settle your baby into the cot. Leave the room and wait 30 seconds. Return to the room and use settling techniques. Stay with her until she is quiet and relaxed or 10 minutes has passed. Leave the room. If your baby cries, wait 2 minutes before returning to her room and stay with her for up to 10 minutes. Leave the room. This time stay out for 4 minutes, then 6, then 8, then 10. Comfort her for up to 10 minutes between each time out. After 2 10 minutes of time out during the day, stop and try again later. If she has gone to sleep but wakes up in less than an hour, resettle her using the same technique. Try for about 30 minutes. At night, continue to repeat the 10 minutes of time out until she falls asleep. Tired cues in toddlers include needing to be closer to an adult, being cheerful then tearful then cheerful, clumsy and accident prone, slowing down or racing round, fussy with meals and drinks, yawning, rubbing eyes, ears, nose, aggressive behaviour, whinging and crying. Settle your toddler using controlled comforting techniques. Follow the same pattern as modified controlled comforting, but stay only a minute in between the times out. If your toddler attempts to follow you out of the room, give her 2 warnings. On the 3rd attempt, close the door and continue on with your timing. At the next visit to the room, leave the door open.